Yes, of course, you're welcome back. You're still watching Prime Morning. We are here taking you all the way till 9 a.m. and giving you all the lifestyle that you can inject into your soul this morning and have a wonderful week. It's Wednesday, and that means it's a time for our survivor story, MFR.
I know, and this morning, I'm particularly elated because this woman is very, very, very beautiful. I can't wait to get to know her personally. We're going to be talking to the beautiful Selina Kwachi. But before we talk to her, we have a video for you.
Selina Kwachi. I'm a single mother. I'm physically challenged on the legs. According to my parents, I wasn't born physically challenged. When I was a child, I had convulsional attack and I was rushed to the hospital. And according to my mom, I was injected by nurse and it affected my veins, which happened to affect my movements in terms of walking and all that. So since then, I became crippled. You know, as a child, sometimes when my peers are playing, like Ampe and other things running around, I really wished to be part of it, but I was limited. And you will always see me crawl in, because I don't want to be either pushed and hurt myself, or I was always quiet, you know, except for a few friends who will understand my situation that will be with me. But others want to explore, and here's the case, I can't also join them, so I have to sit back and then watch them. At first, I wasn't like this. I wasn't all that open. Like I said, I always crawl in, look around. I'm always indoor because I don't want people to see me and reject me, or people see me and go like, oh, I fall for her, you know, that kind of pity thing. So I'm always indoor and I was scared of crowd. We are not too different from the able persons. They will call you back. We'll get back to you. We also receive it. I also receive it. We'll get back to you. I've gotten that, like, you know, so when you tell me I'll get back to you, then to me it's a no. Recently, the government happened to allow persons with disability to work at the toll booth. I asked myself, is that the only thing we can do? I've got support from my church, especially they've been there for me. My parents have been also there for me. And few of my friends have also been there for me. But then the question is, for how long are they going to be there for you? That's the questions I always ask myself. So without these people, how is life going to be like? You know, unlike having your own, let's say, working and you could depend on yourself. I believe in depending on myself most of the time. It is when it is something that is beyond me, then I look out for friends and family. Most of the time, I don't really talk about my problems. Yeah, I take it into prayers. Most of the things that has really helped me is prayer. It's prayer, because I don't know what I would have done without prayer. And God really listens to our prayers.
What is the government's stance when it comes to disability or disabled persons in our society? How much are we, you know, how much budget is allocated to helping people who are disabled one way or the other? Buildings, facilities, logistics, all these things, one way or the other, break people's emotions, people who are disabled, their emotions. But yet still, some have survived it, and the likes of it is Selina. Selina, you're here with us this morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Same here.
Wow, you're strong.
Sure.
Very strong.
How do you feel watching yourself on the screen?
It's
saw you watching
amazing.
very carefully.
Yeah, I watched it and it's amazing, because the Selina Dane now is different.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be very emotional, so you know, I always want to use my life to be motivating people. Yes, this is who I am.
Okay.
For now, there is no miracle. I believe in miracle,
Right.
but it hasn't come yet. This is who I am, no matter what. So I have to accept myself. You get it?
Yes.
For you to be appreciated or be accepted by people, first of all, accept yourself.
Yourself, yeah.
This is why they say we are better off calling them persons living with a disability or some type of disability, not disabled.
Yeah.
All right, so we just want to
Story.
get to know you better. Take us through how you were born and how it happened, how you've ended in this chair right here.
Okay, I'm the firstborn of my parents.
Okay.
We are three. I have a sister, a brother. Being the firstborn, when I was born, I got sick as a child. According to my parents, I wasn't born with it. I wasn't born physically challenged. Okay, so I had a convulsional attack when I was a child, and they rushed me to the hospital, and in through injection, it just paralyzed me.
Did your parents tell you what age this was?
Yeah, my mom said around 2 years.
2 years.
So
Do you mind
meaning-
telling me your age now?
Yeah, I'll be 29 in March.
Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, how do I call it? Like growing up, meaning as a child, I walked.
Okay.
As a child, I took first steps, first, second steps before this thing happened. You get it? And I kind of, I sometimes imagine what my mom went through, because sometimes she tells me, Mommy, people gave up on you. They even asked me to give up on you because they have to sew virtually everything, including the carpets.
Right, to try to make you walk.
Yes, try to make me walk. But God knows best.
So when did happen? When this happened at around age 2, I'm very sure. Well, it was a long time for you to remember yourself. But at what point in time did you start realizing that you had a challenge?
When I was 6 years. By then, my sister who follows me has been born, my brother too. So sometimes they'll be running around, and I wish I could run after them, but I can't. And at that time, it wasn't that into me until I got to junior high school.
So let's say you couldn't walk without the help of the clutches.
Clutches.
Okay,
At age 6.
at age 6, I was crying on the floor.
Wow.
Okay.
I was crying. So it was true. I think someone told them about St. Joseph Hospital. That was when I had my operation. So to me, walking with the crutches alone is a miracle.
Okay, so basically you would crawl on the floor first.
Yes.
You would not be able to walk with the clutches.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
you were crawling to school because at about age 6, you should be in class 1.
I wasn't, in fact, I started school very late due to that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you know
Wow.
in Ghana I'm about 6.
No, so age 6 is class
1.
Yeah, class
Going
1.
on to
Yeah, going on to,
two,
and
yes.
then it follows through as well. So in your situation, you did not start school when you were 6 years
No,
old,
no, no.
or
Do you
probably
remember the
5,
age?
because 5 would be in nursery school.
Yes.
Actually, my sister who follows me even started school before me. She was even there, my senior.
Wow.
Yes, she was my senior. I think I started school when I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
It was quite late.
When you went back, and that's when you went into, let's say, nursery or primary?
And that was
class
because
1?
I was a bit older than my,
Yes.
my colleagues. I was in class 1 or so.
Now, I know it is for kids, even at that age, when you know you are way older than your mates, it has an effect on you. Did you experience anything as such as well?
Oh, yes.
And how did you feel? What were some of the experiences, the moments in there?
Sometimes I will call in, keep quiet. Sometimes I want to enjoy. I enjoy them playing, be screaming here and there, but I wish I was part of it. Wishing to be part of it, and you cannot do. You are limited, because sometimes I'm even scared if I join them playing, I might be pushed and injure myself.
Yes,
So I have to sit back and give them the morale.
Usually, as kids, we have best friends around that time who understand us or who are always with us. Did you have friends like that?
Yeah, I'm really the type, I have friends. But to say I have very close friends like when I was a child, No.
Yes, basically now you have acquaintances.
Sure,
Yes,
I have
okay.
friends. I have, yes, for now, I have very close friends. Friends who are there for me, who pray with me, especially my church, Action Chapel. They are always with me. So sometimes you need people around you to motivate you. And you don't have to also wait for someone to motivate you. I myself, I always motivate myself. First thing in the morning, I pray. After prayers, I look at myself in the mirror and tell myself, you're beautiful.
Absolutely. Actually, you don't need a mirror. You are.
You know, sometimes you have to motivate, self-motivation, lift up your spirit. So I say this, and
Yeah.
my day is okay.
Let's come to when you were 18. For me, this is where the formative part of a woman, this is where you start to see, some people get it quite earlier, but I like to stick to 18 because this is where you see your breast shooting up, you're probably in your period, you know. How well did you manage it, and was it a shock to you? How did your parents also take it? How did you sail through that period of your life?
My mom played a very vital role.
Right.
With my mom, when I was growing up, she always tell me, look, you're not always going to get someone around you to help you. So she taught me basically everything.
Okay.
How I'm going to keep myself as a lady, cook, wash, virtually everything, house chores. She helped me. She brought that
Is
thing.
she still alive?
Yeah, she is.
She watching?
Shut up, Mom.
Ah, right.
So, you know, she always motivates me. She's my mentor, my everything. She always told me, look, sometimes you might be like this, but you are better than someone.
I agree. Did you go to secondary school?
Yes, I
What
did.
secondary school did you attend?
Akwemomai Senior High.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's my father's alma mater. Okay, so in school, that's a mixed school, where we've got girls and boys.
Yeah.
How was the reception? How did you feel that they were treating you specially? Did you have to do things that every other person would? Tell me your experience, because you know secondary school is a stage that people actually go
with all kinds
coy
of
or
bullying
they
and
become
influence, yeah.
hyperactive. Yes. So
In my case, I think in secondary school, you could see me virtually everywhere. Entertainment, I'm there. Gospel rock show, I'm there. Yes, that's me. So I always make sure that people around me are, in fact, they have that kind of spirit, free spirit. I don't want a situation whereby you go, you know, always using situation to win the sympathy of friends and all that.
Okay.
No, I don't do that. Yes, I've gotten a lot of rejection when I was in school. There are friends who would not even want to be
close to
you. And some too, because they want to go fast, you are delaying them.
Yeah.
You see, and way back in Akwemomai, the environment was not too much friendly. So every now and then, I fall.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you did, each time that you fell, by this time you're using the clutches.
Yes.
Right. So each time that you fell, you mean physically fall on the floor?
Yeah, I fall.
What was it like for you?
Sometimes I could stay at the dorm for a week or two, mixed classes. Or I remember one major accident that I had. I actually somersaulted from the, it was a new block, so it has these valleys. And I somersaulted from that place. So I break I think my right knee. And I have to come home, stay home for a whole time.
Wow.
Yes.
That brings to the question I was just about to ask with regards to facility and facilities now being designed to be able to accommodate physically challenged people. Now, what do you make of you know, places where you go to where you find out that there's nothing that is made available for you to be physically challenged people to be able to access a certain place easily? How does that make you feel?
Disappointed. Very, very disappointing. You know, it's as if you ask yourself, so these people, were they expecting some group of people to be here? At least one way or the other, someone with disability will come. Or let me not use disability, physically challenged. You know, because there are places, banks, hospitals, even hospitals. There are places which is sociable to everyone. So why limit it to some group of people? Why don't you make it to, make it out to everyone, especially, and the towels.
The slippery.
Hi, the towels. I think we have come a long way as a country.
Yeah.
Whereby if we are building, we should take certain things into consideration. Okay, we should take certain things into consideration.
We're going to come back to the national agenda. I'm just focusing on you. You're 29. Have you thought about marriage, relationship, children? What do you want to do for yourself?
Yeah, I have a son.
How old is he? I saw it in the video. So I'm kissing all of you. How old is he?
He's 3.
He's 3 years.
Yes, I have a son. And yes, I'm kind of, I'm in a relationship, but we are just starting.
Is he watching?
Yes.
You have to wave at him.
So, yes, relationship-wise, it's not been easy, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we also have our own differences, challenges when it comes to relationship.
Why do you think this man chose you? And how long have you been in a relationship?
Oh, okay. We just started as, it's not been that long, but we are just studying each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is interesting.
But he's not the father of the 3-year-old son.
No.
Okay. Do you want to share with me? Where's the father?
Oh,
It's a
he's
story
around.
for
It's a long story.
He's around.
He's around. Yeah,
It's a story for
it's a long story. I just don't
now,
want to go there.
you also mentioned that when you heard the story of the government giving persons with disability a chance to work at the toll booth, it saddened your heart. Now let's talk about career and work and some of the experiences you've had so far with it in terms of you trying to get work. First of all, do you work, and have you tried to get work, and what has the response been? And if you are working, what is the feedback, and how is the relationship with the people around you?
Okay, I'm a journalist by profession. After senior high school, I went to media school, practicing journalism and all that. But sometimes, like I said, the system does not really favor some of us. Okay, the ups and downs. Sometimes you go to an office, you send your CV and everything, and they tell you, we'll get back to you. Sometimes with some smile, the smile you're talking about, not that genuine smile, will get back to you. And they will get back to you. I know even the normal people are having it, but at least, so that they look at you and they look down on you.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, maybe she can't be that speed, when it comes to speed or something, she can't give it to us and all
Mobility. So, not to mention company names or brand names, but I want a practical example of one that you went through that you felt you were, you were not treated fairly.
Well, it's countless.
Okay.
Countless. And sometimes I go like, okay, this is someone, I'm trying to make life for myself, a living for myself. I don't want to go to the street and beg for alms. I'm not saying I am better than those who are on the street, but God being so good, I've gotten the educational background. So what's the essence of me going to school? And if after school, I can't get a job, which I know I qualify. I'm not the only person who have been going through this. I have friends who have diploma, who have degrees.
In the same situation
like
you.
Who have degrees, who have a whole lot. But yes, they are limited.
Okay.
Because the person is physically challenged.
Okay. So let's widen up a little bit. Do you have any interest or hobbies or any particular skill that we can find in you?
Well, I Myself, honestly, I'm not creative when it comes to the hand,
Okay.
but I love to read.
Okay.
I know I've got the voice for radio, for TV, commercials, and all that.
Okay.
So that's what I really focused on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think my creativity is my voice.
Then you are
true.
talking to the right person.
That's
About ideal and voice. So
No,
it's something that we
yeah,
can
I
always
love
look
your
at.
voice as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we've been talking to beautiful Selina Kwachi. As you can see, she's a person living with disability, particularly the legs, I should say. But we're going to be joined by Lady Reverend Princess Ada. But you stay with us. We'll come back after this break.